welcome back to Queen of the Ratchet podcast. I'm Joshua, and I'm here with Dr. Sebi's nephew, Doshynko. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm blessed. I want to talk about something that has become really popular over social media, and that is veganism.
Okay.
Alkaline versus acidity. Do you feel that a human being has to be vegan? Because I know that Dr. Sebi, that is what he pushes on social media. That's what's put out there.
So, this is a complicated question. First of all, I believe that, first of all, I don't consider myself a vegan Nazi or an alkaline Nazi. My company is basically all about helping people be a healthier them, and going at what they want to do. So like, say, for example, if you eat meat and you want to eat meat for the rest of your life, okay, cool. Let's, work on how we can make that healthier. Let's see what kind of switches you're willing to do. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you're not going to live. No, it's not about that. I truly believe in balance. Okay. So even when it comes to eating an alkaline diet, you have to be balanced. Even when it comes to being, just because you're vegan doesn't mean that you're going to be healthier. And I think that is one of the misconceptions about veganism. Okay. And I'll tell you why. There's a big difference between eating vegan and eating alkaline. Okay. Vegan just means you're not having any animal byproducts. Doesn't mean that you're actually eating healthy, because literally you can eat plastic and still be considered vegan because it's not animal byproduct. Okay. You cannot eat plastic and be considered on an alkaline diet. Some of the foods that we according to our paradigm or our theories, some of the vegan foods would actually cause disease. Like sugar is one of the most detrimental things that you can put in your body, and that's vegan. Rice, bread, things that cause mucus buildup in the body, cause inflammation, they're vegan. They'll lower your immune system. So just because you're vegan doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthier. Yes, okay, you're not using animals for your own personal gain. Great. And that's, great when it comes to karma. However, it doesn't necessarily make you any healthier than other people. Now, let's say, for example, when it comes to eating alkaline, people a lot of times do it wrong. And this is the reason why in my consultation, usually my consultations are anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And during that time, I go over the diet. That diet is so important because you can do an alkaline electric diet wrong. You can like sometimes people go on fruit fasts. Okay. In certain cases, that's not going to be a great thing. Like say, for example, if you have diabetes and you're going on a fruit fast, you're taking in tons of sugar because fruits still have sugar. Your body has a problem processing sugar. So why are you going to put more work on your body? People, and this is where I'm going to clash with my uncle, but however, me and some of my cousins have gotten together and we're like, listen, this is how we feel about this particular subject. Protein. My uncle was completely against protein. He said that protein didn't exist. However, we as a younger generation don't believe that. We believe that protein is very important. However, you do not need to get protein from animal sources. There are alkaline sources of protein like hemp seeds, like quinoa, garbanzo beans. So in order to do an alkaline electric program correctly, you need to have the correct components. You need to be able to have a balanced diet. You need to make sure that you're getting a lot of chlorophyll. You need to make sure that you're getting a lot of fiber, the proper amount of carbohydrates, the proper amounts of protein. So, being alkaline doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be healthy if you're doing it wrong. And that is the misconception. A lot of times people will go on to an alkaline electric diet, eat the wrong way, and yes, they start feeling healthy, they start healing, but then after a certain point, you're not replenishing certain nutrients that are necessary in order for your body to keep going. And then that's when you start deteriorating. Say, for example, I have a family member who was eating alkaline, and she always ate alkaline, but however, she wasn't paying attention to the protein aspect because protein wasn't real. That's what my uncle said. Unfortunately, she went to the doctor one year and then was told that her body was deteriorating. Her muscles were not having that building block to keep replenishing themselves, and they were deteriorating. And that was also affecting her heart because your heart is a muscle. And so they started having heart issues because there wasn't enough protein to be able to replace the cells in her heart. So this is one of the main things about veganism, about alkalinity. There's a lot of components that people need to be paying attention to when they're doing an alkaline electric program.
So I have certain family members and friends that are kind of like, well, I don't want to be vegan. I want to eat what I want to eat. I want to have that cookie. I want to have that thing that isn't quote unquote good for me. Is that okay?
Yes, it's totally okay. But the thing is a balance, okay? And in Spanish, we have a saying, when what is it? Una vez al año no te hace daño. Like once a year, it's not going to hurt you. It's all about balance. It is all about balance. So there are certain times when somebody's on an alkaline diet for so long that their body starts getting too alkaline. And I actually know a couple clients of mine and a family member who their body was so alkaline that it started deteriorating. Okay, so even if you are on an alkaline electric program, have acidic food every now and then. I'm not saying, have it every day. No. But every now and then you need to eat something dirty if you're eating clean all the time, just to keep that balance. But however, the thing is people go overboard. They won't have a cookie every now and then. They'll have it like all the time. And not only are they having that cookie, they're having that chips, they're having that soda. They're like eating a lot of rice, a lot of bread, and barely even having any green leafy vegetables. That's the issue, that we're out of balance. And we weren't like that before. Even when it came to the American diet, I think it was maybe about 50, 60 years ago, the portion of meat on your plate was like this. All right, people ate more vegetables, especially if you lived in the South. You went out and you picked your greens, you picked your peas, you picked your vegetables, and a lot of your plate consisted of vegetables. Now it's the opposite. A lot of people's plates don't even contain vegetables.
So why do you think that we like meat so much?
That, I think,
as Americans,
yes, as Americans, because meat isn't such a big component in other people's diets. That is
and
a good
portions too.
Portions are a lot bigger, and it's also not just the meats. It's the starches. A lot of people eat a lot of potato, a lot of bread, and a lot of sugar. Sugar is actually doing more damage to the American diet than meat.
Okay, is there something, because I like a good cookie.
Okay.
Is there something that we can substitute besides fruit, which I love fruit, I'm really, really starting to like it, but is there something else that...
For sweets? So, when somebody's doing a consultation with me, I look at what their diet is, and I actually tell them how they can alkaline it, how they can make it a lot healthier. So say, for example, if you like cookies, there is a way to make alkaline cookies.
Really?
Yes. For example, you use spelt. Spelt is the original form of wheat. So that's what you use for flour. For sugar, instead of using white sugar or brown sugar, you can use date sugar. You can use maple crystals for the flavoring. You can use a vanilla extract. That's fine. And for the yolk, sometimes people use sea moss. Or the sea moss gel. Sometimes people use a sea moss gel. Sometimes people use I think one of my cousins uses flax seeds. So there are ways that you can make alkaline cookies. Now, once you add in the chocolate, that's no longer alkaline. But however, if you use dark chocolate, like the pure dark chocolate, that's not as damaging. And then what you're doing is, if you put the maple syrup or the maple crystals or date sugar, it helps to sweeten it. So that's a way that you can make a healthier, like, chocolate chip cookie. Or instead of using the chocolate, you can use fruits, you can use raisins, you can use nuts. So you can still eat some of those junk food, but it make them a lot healthier.
We've gotten to a phase in our system where fasting has become very popular. Even me, for a little bit, I was like, well, I'm going to be a breatharian and I'm going to try this thing where I breathe air.
I'm I am not a big fan of me, and this is me personally. And I am not a big fan of fasting. I did that when I was in Honduras, and I did that for like 14 days, and I passed out. Sometimes you can do fasting wrong, and there are certain cases where I might not recommend somebody fast. Like, say for example, for a lot of the viral diseases to be able to reverse HIV or herpes, fasting great. For cancer client, not so much. Fasting will work for a short period of time, but really and truly, I prefer putting my cancer clients on a green juice fast, because with cancer you have an alien that's basically sucking energy out of your body. Okay, so from my programs, I don't have my cancer clients fast. I have them doing a green juice fasting, because what you're doing is you're still giving your body a break from processing food, but you're still getting all the proper nourishment that you need. And even when it comes to being able to reverse some of the viral diseases, we're not just having you do a water fast. You are on herbs, and what the body does is, and when you are fasting and you take herbs, your body absorbs it a lot quicker and it disperses through your body a lot quicker. I am not a fan of water fasting for long periods of time. Yes, I realize my uncle did it, but first of all, a lot of times when my uncle was doing fasting and the rest of my family, my aunt Pat fasts, my cousins fast, they're on herbs. You should be at least be taking sea moss and bladderwrack, and it really helps to be on a lot of other herbal formulas in order to do a fast. I don't want to say correctly, in a more efficient manner.
And we're going to come back and talk about herbs, ladies and gentlemen. So come back after this commercial break.